everybody have a place? Well, thank you.
Hang on one second.
We got one thing? We'll figure that. What'd you say?
What can I say?
Right? It runs in the family, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
So, what a group. Mom would have been.
You can say that again.
Yeah, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to say a few words and then. Oh
My God. First of all, you guys, thank you all for coming. She would have loved this. I'm kind of nervous, and I don't know. But you know what? These are actually pretty comfortable. I might have a new wardrobe. I might could have built it.
Mom went to Hawaii in the 80s or 90s and fell in love with the muumuu. And as you all know, it was muumuus ever since, right?
And she gave this one to me last year for Christmas. And it is the muumuu.
Did she ever tell you where she got her first ones when we were in Hawaii?
Yeah.
Goodwill store.
Oh, was it?
That's awesome.
That's fitting, right?
She got it at the Goodwill store.
Okay, we're going to try to keep this short.
Yes,
we know we
we
have
are.
a few people that would like to say a few words, and
Yeah.
we'll start with you. Right?
Okay, so I think tonight would be, I'd like to tell you the first funny and my last funny with her, but there's a whole bunch in the middle. So my first one was, I came to their house for dinner, and they had pizza, and it was down there, and she said, Danny, you need to go first, so I did. I got my pizza, and I went through the little buffet, you know, kind of like this is Ann style out there. And I did the Parmesan, and I did the hot peppers, and I sat down, and everybody else going through line, and I'm like, everybody stop! And they were like, what? I said, my pizza's moving. And they're like, what? The hot peppers had some little larvae growing in them. Put that on my pizza. And said, just pick them off. It'll be and then another one, she made me pea soup, and I said, or split pea soup, and I said, I don't like peas. She goes, there's no peas in there. I'm like, so, and my last one was, my last memory with her was, Chris and I took care of her daily down there. We're so glad we brought her home. And every day we worked with her and, you know, and just, you know, cared for her and loved her like we always have. She said, Danny, I want you to know I love you more than him. Was that true?
Hey, you were sitting there, you heard it, right?
That's all I got. So, anyway, great, thank you so much.
So, someone asked me earlier, tell us what it was like to be Chris and Pals' son. So, there's two quick stories I want to tell you. One was Miss Motivation. My mom was motivational for me because I was at best a B student in a public school system, which was, you know, it was just okay. But when I would get motivated to do something, I would do pretty well. But anyway, there was a movie, this is embarrassing, but there was a movie called Porky's. Came out, and I was probably in junior high, and this movie came out, and I had heard from other people that there were some pretty cool scenes in this movie. Well, I wanted to go see this movie, and Mom's like, okay, yeah, if you get 100% on this big spelling test coming up, I'll take you to see it. Thinking that there's no way that I'm ever gonna pass this test or get an A. She said, but you have to master it. I got 100 out of 100. So we went to Porky's, a matinee showing of Porky. I'm sure she was embarrassed to take me there. Well, what she did was she called prior to the movie to find out when these scenes were going to happen. So I didn't know this, but I'm in there. All right, let's watch this movie. And all of a sudden, Chris, I got to go to the bathroom. I need some popcorn. We're going to go. You can't stay in here because you're a minor. I'm like, whoa, no. The good stuff's coming. So she was able to pull her into the deal up and get me out of there. But anyway.
Have you seen it since?
That's Diesel.
Diesel cover yours. Then there was Mrs. Goodmom during the high school or junior high years. She was good at being the life of the party with my friends, and she helped us out of some situations that some of my friends may have gotten into, but it just amazing experiences, and
She might have bought some alcohol.
yeah.
You know what? All mothers do that.
Well, I was one of the first that had a fake ID.
I know.
And I had Elko's fake ID. Where's Jay and Elko? Elko's not here, and Jay's here. So I had this fake ID, and these girls from high school knew that I did, so they asked me they'd saved up all their money to do this, and they met us at, I believe it was Huck's down the street, and I said, okay, I'll go into Huck's and get what you need, just give me the money. I said, go around to the back of the building, and I will come back with you. Well, it was my friends and I, maybe Johnny was here or Scott, but anyway, we went in and got the alcohol, or I did, and we decided to take off with it. Well, we knew where they were going to go. We knew where they were at the party, but they ended up following us and chasing us around. We ended up losing them. And you know what they did? They came back to Ann Pels' house and let her know. And she gladly gave them their $20 back, which was probably a lot of money back then. Okay, so Mom,
That's the first time I've heard this story.
Mr. Insurance, conservative insurance guy, was
Doesn't need to know that.
right. Miss Liberal, Mrs. Fun, Mrs. Good Mom. He did not need to know those things. But Mom did not. Obviously, most of you or all of you know that she was not a funeral person. She didn't really go to any.
No.
And we were like, we knew that she didn't want a big funeral and a big service, so we're like, this is the place in Annie's barn, right?
Yes.
So this barn was supposed to be Dad's RV garage. So when we built this, Dad had this RV and he was like, this is going to be great. We're gonna be able to put the RV in the wintertime. I'm going to keep it nice and clean. Well, once it was built, Ann was like, oh, I see opportunity here. The RV never went back into the barn. So countless fundraisers, hay rides.
Oh, yeah.
We had we were supporting a local politician for a chili cook-off. And do you remember who it was?
Yeah.
Anyway, this politician came out and brought other people, including the county assessor. Well, back in the 80s, 90s, Dad may have forgotten to get permits for things. Well, long story short, our tax assessment went up by double the following year.
Thank you, Annie.
But one of the most
I didn't know that one either.
well, anyway, but fast forward maybe a decade, we had the barn built. But then if we rewound it back to 1984, we were at a Lutheran Brotherhood convention in London. This is how my mom networked and got to know people. We're in this elevator somewhere in London, and everybody's from all over the Smiths.
In the elevator with her when she did that.
So we're in this elevator, and Ron and Sherry's there, and there's people from California, and you guys were in Cleveland, and we were from St. Louis, and everybody's saying where they're from, and you guys said Cleveland. My mom said, well, we're from St. Louis. And this woman from California said, oh, I've got this, my uncle lives in St. Louis, and he's a radio personality at KMOX Radio. Yes. And that guy was Jack Carney.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Jack Carney.
Yeah.
And Jack's son is here tonight, John Carney, who's...
I heard it.
You heard him? But, so John is here. But the reason why I brought that story up was because my mom became very close with John's grandma. And she introduced my mom to Marion and Ursel. Marion and Ursel were having their 75th wedding anniversary. And when you're 95, you need to have friends and you need to have people. So my mom invited them out, and this was 30 years ago this year. The Rams were moving to town, and Marion and Ursel were relatives of Georgia. My mom said, what the heck? Why don't we invite Georgia to come to her aunt and uncle's 75th wedding anniversary? We had the party, started at maybe 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. Georgia was always notoriously late to everything. We had this party for 2 hours. Everybody's getting ready to leave. It's just like tonight. Everybody's getting ready to walk out. All of a sudden, this big black limousine pulls up, and it's Georgia. My mom goes over to the door, get back in here. We had a pianist, we had a musician, we had a singer, we had everybody here. We're going to reenact this. So it all goes back to an elevator in London because of the Carneys.
And we're fortunate because we have some Rams family here as well.
So George's niece or cousin, first cousin is Margie.
And then Margie's daughter Leslie are here. And that's part of our Rams family. And then Pam was here, but she had to go to a surprise birthday party. So that's how we got to know them.
She related.
But so it was the connections with people and animals that drove her. So anyway, that's what I had or have. Is there anything I missed that I?
No, I mean, there's some very special people. The Bakers are here. We thank you for everything that you have allowed for us to do, to put these banks in the gas stations. And we do countless, we go and pick up these banks. Now Chris and I are taking this on, and Harlan comes with us. And this is our way to continue to do charitable things for the no-kill shelters. And I think if you've read the obituary, we've had this opportunity to continue to pass this trait on. And hopefully we can pass that on to our son, who is hiding in the corner.
Also, so we've owned the property for 52 years. My mom and dad bought the property from the Barklages, and the Barklages are here, Sue and Keith Barklage. And so your dad, Mo, owned what is now this property and the golf course.
Yes.
So Paula Walters is here, and Denny Jr. was here, or is
Right here.
there he is. So there's so many connections in here.
Yes,
it's
there
amazing.
is.
Yeah. It's a
It's
small.
unbelievable how many connections there are.
And then Ann was an only child, he's an only child, my son's an only child, but we're fortunate enough to have her family here. They're here and they're here.
So cousins from the
and-
Hodges side, the Frake side, from
Yes, so
Mount
we appreciate you
Vernon.
guys coming and sharing this. And then we have a lot of friends. Alicia, she lived at Ann and Harlan's for 5 years, and she's a very dear friend of ours.
She's from Peru.
And Ann's hairdresser and our lovely neighbor Julie, and then where's Jack? Mr. Jack Weiser, there you are. So we appreciate you guys coming. Chris's aunt Ellen and his cousin Justin, where are you, buddy? He's filming, and his beautiful daughter Reagan. They came up from Dallas, so we appreciate that. Who else am I going to miss here?
Lutheran Brotherhood family. I mean, we've got all
The
kinds
Lutheran Brotherhood, and then Gary, you lived in the barn for 15 years. Gary, is that right? I had to take over his job of all the grounds, doing all the flowers and stuff. I don't know how I do that, but, and then his lovely wife, where's Ting? Where is she? Ting. And then her son is here in the corner. There's, what's your name? Ethan, just kidding. And then Bart and Jay and Suze and who else? Denise, there you are. I looked over and I missed you, but we appreciate that. Those are very dear friends from you took those guys and they went to Hawaii trips with you guys and over Europe. And then I'm gonna and of course all the Lutheran Brotherhood people, and then my dear friend Kate and her husband Dave. But I think the one that I need to is Eva. Yeah. Come here. No, you come up.
Eva's from the Czech Republic and has been with us for 25 years.
She's our family.
But anyway.
Oh, and Big Steve, we forgot Steve. If you didn't see him, it was the guy that.
Scott, Taylors,
And I'm sorry, Sue, you were here, she loved you so much, and you know that, she brought her dogs over, and, and their dogs were best friends, and then they were best friends, so if I have missed anybody, I'm trying to go back through.
my
the-
godmother,
McClures, they're neighbors for how many years now?
47,
47 years.
and my godmother Lynn is here.
Yes, godmother Lynn.
What are you guys doing?
I think we got everybody. Did we miss anybody?
Yes, and I think, Terry, would you like to come up and say? Terry is a very dear friend of ours now, but she knew Ann before she knew us.
Terry's quite a bit younger than my mom, but they were really big buddies in the 90s or so.
She told me what to do.
And everybody in this room.
I used to write a column, a society column for the local here, and Ann was always my informant. Here's what's going on. Here's what's okay.
No, that's perfect. I mean, you guys are like she's your you're her little sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was a sweetheart. She was a sweetheart. So I wrote my notes down because I don't always remember well when I'm together. But thank you. What a wonderful celebration this is that you put together. You guys do an amazing job. There's no doubt in my mind that everyone in this barn has an Ann Powell story or memory. She was just that kind of person who made friends with everyone she met, whether they had 2 legs or 4 legs. Her kindness was over the top. She made us all feel like we were her best friend. Most of us use our arms to carry groceries, brace us when we fall, lift heavy items, and keep us balanced. They're an extension of our hands. Ann used her arms to embrace her community, hold up her friends, pick up her precious cats, wave hello to both familiar and non-familiar faces, welcome people to her home from near and far, those especially that have lived here in this barn, hug the love of her life, Harlan, and wrap them around her beloved children, Chris and Danny, and of course her favorite grandson, Diesel. Her arms were an extension of her heart. Ann's interest was not in sharing what she was working on. She was interested in learning about us. She was sincere in wanting to get to know every one of us on a personal level. It was her eyes. They never left you when she was talking to you because she really wanted to know who you were. It was through the warmth of her eyes you could feel her desire for connection, and she got it. Ann was probably one of the best storytellers that we ever met. She was so good at it that many times I left her company and went home, and I spent way too much time trying to figure out if the story was true. Was it a fragment of her imagination, or was it a fragment of my imagination? Did she really meet Alec Baldwin on a plane? Did she really meet the son of the famous prince, or was it the prince? Either way, she did not shy away from anyone. Rich, poor, famous, not famous, fun, not fun, VIPs, NIPs, that stands for not important people, is categorized by society, but not categorized by her. She loved us all. Ann had so many friends and acquaintances that it had to be impossible for her to keep up with everyone, but she did. Whether it was a handwritten note, a silly joke she found that she wanted to share, or her mailing us one of her joke books, it was her way of keeping in touch. Months would go by that I didn't hear from Ann, and then out of the clear blue, I'd get a package or a note card, not necessarily with a lot of verbiage on it. It was her unwritten message that was so dear. Terry, I'm thinking of you. I know many of you experienced the same. If Ann didn't agree with you, okay, here goes those eyes again. When you were speaking about a topic, and if she wasn't in agreement with you, you could read in her eyes that she had something to say about the subject. You knew the moment you quit talking, she was going to let you know what she really thought about your misconstrued thoughts. So my secret strategy was to keep talking as long as she was willing to listen. The problem was, Ann was a great listener, and I could talk forever and she would never interrupt me. When I finally ran out of words or breath, She would politely take the platform and give me a different view of things. I appreciated her wisdom and her willingness to be open with me. She was never derogatory, but she did have opinions. Anne was a great listener, but she had a voice as well. And Anne used that voice, along with the love of her life, Harlan, to make things happen. As you know, Anne and Harlan Powell have been pillars of our St. Charles community forever. Their love for our St. Charles and surrounding areas has been shown through their massive support of civic and charitable organizations, way too many to mention by name. They have given their time, talents, and treasures to effect positive change and phenomenal growth. To know Anne and Harlan is simply to love and admire them. They also gave us someone special, their one and only son, Chris, who has embraced the same level of community as his parents. Chris married Danny, who is his perfect mate. I mean, honestly, really, could you like match made in heaven? And together they gave us Diesel, their fun-loving son, with a name that caused Grandma Ann to ask many of us, can you believe they named my one and only grandson after a truck?
Could we have done Harlan, and his middle name is Wilmer? We didn't have a lot of options.
She had a great sense of humor. For those of us of a certain age, which is all of us in this room, we have learned that forever is just the word that means as long as possible. When Anne passed away, the news spread quickly across our community, and for a moment, the beating hearts and the pulse of our St. Charles stopped. We didn't just lose a shining light, we lost a brilliant, fiery, imaginative, loving, caring, bright flame that was fueled by fun, laughter, craziness, kindness, and compassion, all wrapped up in a torch known as Ann Powell's. There will never be another Ann Powell's. Nope, not even AI will be able to clone our Ann Powell's. God blessed us all by sharing his loving daughter with us, and now she's back with her true Father in heaven. And she's probably whispering to him right now, Terry, you're talking too much. Get off the microphone and go sit down. So I'm done. Peace and love to all of you. We are so blessed that we have Anne in our hearts, and she will always be in our hearts.
Oh, thank you.
Ron and Sherry Ron has known my dad longer than he knew Ann. Ron was with my grandpa in Denver at Lutheran Brotherhood, and then ended up coming back to the Midwest through Cleveland and then into St. Louis.
We came to St. Louis because of your mom and dad.
Oh,
That's why we moved here.
thank you.
That's why I married him.
He was too young, a little young. No, we came back because we knew Dan and Harlan would be our mentors, yes. Neighbors too.
You want to have Ed do the...
Ed, so
Ed,
Ed,
would you like to do? Sure. So Ed and Janet have been very dear friends for how many, a long time?
for
right?
many decades. And Ed has just been amazing for Dad, and they've been wonderful friends for many years, and I'd like to say a few words.
And Ethan?
I was just thinking, we had my 50th birthday party right here. Stan Musial was the MC. Guess who got Stan Musial to come?
Yeah.
Ann Powell's, to me, was one of the most spiritual people I've ever met. God summed up what he wants for us and from us in what Jesus called the two greatest commandments. Love God with all your heart, mind, and soul. And secondly, love others as yourself. And then he said, that covers it all. It covers all the laws and the prophets. We have 456 different Christian denominations. And we sometimes get caught up in worshiping our differences. But one thing Ann brought us all together on was the most important thing that Jesus called the most important commandments. And if there ever was a servant of God, you'd have to say, Ann Powell's was at. Wouldn't it be great if all of us focused on the things on those things, doing those two things, he said would cover everything? Ann wasn't focused on meeting the requirements of a certain religion. I don't know if God cares which church we go to, or even if we go to church. We go to the Messiah Lutheran Church. Okay, we attend there. I don't go there to worship a church. We go there to worship God. And I think that's the thing that Ann taught us, the love that she had for other people. She demonstrated her connection to her God by demonstrating she had no fear of what other people thought of her. I love that about her. That was my favorite thing about her. She really didn't give a crap what we thought about her. Because she was focused, she knew what life was all about and what was important in life. And she did it. She showed it. She showed her connection to God by demonstrating she had no fear of what other people thought of her, and she wasn't concerned about it. And the thing I loved about it, I'll give you, well, there's all kinds of examples, but one example that I loved was we had Lou Brock and Jackie Brock asked us over, the Pals and the Watkins over for Jackie's birthday party. So Ann comes up with the idea that we get there early and work with Lou and get presents from Ann's house, or Lou and Jackie's house, and put them in bags and present them to her, to Jackie for her birthday. So Jackie's opened up these presents, and she said, "Oh, that's beautiful." Well, she didn't say, "I have something exactly like that," but she did. Or she used to. Well, we went through this for a while, but that was the kind of, we had so many. We could stand here, all of us could stand here tonight and talk about the things. Ann had fun. She loved life. She was so full of it, and in my opinion, it was because her relationship with God. I believe she had it straight. And a couple of things. Research shows people who are servants are happier, they're healthier, and they live longer. Why wouldn't everybody? Why isn't everybody focused on those things? What a world we would have. What a great world we have. Anne embodied that. She embodied that every day. You saw that in her. One of the things that we're very appreciative of is the fact that Ann and Harlan sponsored a group we sang in called One Accord. And we sang at the National Lutheran down in Ozarks convention. And we sang all over the state of Missouri. And Harlan and Ann took us on the bus. And it was a great ministry, but it would not have happened without our pals. They made it happen. And we toured a lot of the U.S. With that, doing that. And we're able to reach a lot of people and connect with a lot of people and share good news. I'd like to close my remarks just with something that we all can sing together. And it's short. And if you don't know it, fine, you don't have to sing.
You're going to have to help some of us.
Well, these are the words, just one verse of it. It's called How Great Thou Art. And I feel that this is what Ann thought of God and how she served him. She served him because she felt that God was the one that she needed to focus her attention on. Not what other people thought or said about her or cared about, She focused her attention on the right thing. And it goes, "O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art." Let's join in if you'd like to. Or if you want to. O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Okay, let's go. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art.
Please join us in saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Okay, and the last thing is, as I was going through her stuff, if you guys did see this, she left me a couple little notes, and these are toasts, and I know some of you heard them. We won't toast the first one, but we'll toast the second one. She wrote this one directly to me. Danny, here's to you, here's to me. Hope we never disagree, but if we do, the hell to you, here's to me. And then she said, flip it over. Now this is where we do our toast. And you've all heard this one, I'm sure. And if you haven't, if I had a ticket to heaven and you didn't have one too, I'd tear my ticket to pieces and go to hell with you.
That's it.